Class expectations. All right, guys, so there's several things that are going to help us all work together to make our class, both online and in person, run smoothly. And so the first one is I expect everyone to be prompt. It's very important that you're in class on time, ready to learn before the tardy bell rings. If you are consistently tardy, then I have to send a referral to your AP, and I don't want to have to do that. So just please make sure you're in class on time. I know from time to time things happen and you won't be able to be there on time, but I would like for you to do your absolute best to get to class, be there ready to learn. If you're at home, it's also very important that you set yourself a schedule. Do algebra the same time every time you have algebra class. Set aside that much time and be prompt to getting there and be disciplined in getting there to that time so that you can get started on your work. The next expectation is that you be prepared. I expect for you to have all of your supplies ready to go. And so at home, you self-manage this. But in the class environment, in person, you're going to need to make sure that you have pencils, paper, your notebook, that you have all your supplies ready to go, including dry erase markers. The reason why is because we are not going to be sharing supplies. And so you have to have your items ready to go. Okay, remember, we're all working together to help stop the spread of this virus so that we can stay open. And so we have to do the things that will help us do that. And so be prepared for class, have all your supplies ready to go, and also be prepared for your quizzes and tests. The same thing goes for our Zoom tutorials after school. We have 30 minutes every day after school from 4 to 4:30. And so it's very important that you are prepared for that. Bring your questions from the day's work or the previous day's work and be ready to ask that question and be able to work collaboratively with your other classmates and me. The next one is to be polite. The expectation is that when an adult addresses you that you say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Also, please and thank you. Always keep a good, solid, respectful manner, and we're going to do the same with you. Okay? Be positive. Have a growth mindset. There are going to be times this year where this class is going to seem very tough. There are going to be some things that are going to really challenge you. But we're going to reach those challenges. We're going to beat those challenges, and we're going to get to the place where we need to be by staying positive. As long as we stay positive and we work through those difficult moments together, then we'll be able to get there. So have a growth mindset. Don't say, I can't do this. Say, I can't do this yet. Don't say, I'm not ever going to get this. Say, I'm going to get this eventually. So have a growth mindset and be positive. Be productive. Make sure that you're using your time wisely. This is especially for remote learners. When you're at home, it's easy to get distracted. So be productive with the amount of time you set aside to do your algebra work. Also, be productive in the classroom. Make sure that you're using the time in the classroom to work on the skills you need to be able to pass the next quiz. Okay, be productive in the Zoom meetings. Make sure that you are there on time and that you're ready to work, and use that time to work on math, not to visit with one another or to cut jokes and things like that. We have a job to do, and we want to get that done. The next rule is a new one this year. We have to wear our masks. It's very important that you wear your mask. Remember, we are working together to try to stop the spread of this virus so we can stay open and still have school. So anytime you're in the building, you must wear your mask. This is especially true in my classroom. And so this does not mean run into the room and then put your mask on. It means you should have your mask on at all times. Repeated offenses of not having a mask or not wearing your mask properly or taking your mask off will result in an immediate referral. Guys, you have to follow the rules with this. It's very important. We're not going to have food or drink in the classroom. This is a standard rule in my classroom every year, but especially this year. And we are especially not going to share food and drink with each other. I have talked with several people who have specific medical reasons for having small snacks and orange juice because of diabetes and things like that. And so I want to make sure that those people get what they need. But also, we're not on the norm going to have food or drink in the classroom. We're absolutely not going to share things like gum, candy, water bottles, things like that with one another. You have to keep all that kind of stuff to yourself. And then you are allowed to have a water bottle. Outside of that, we're not going to have any food or drink in the classroom. The expectation is that you stay 6 feet away from anyone else in the class. That includes teachers and other students. And so the desks are set where you will be 6 feet away from the next person. And so I'm going to ask that you not wander around the room, that if you need something, you raise your hand, and my co-teacher and myself will help you. Stay seated, and we will address you. No sharing, like I said before. We're not going to share supplies. We're not going to share gum, food, water bottles, things like that. It's very important that we keep all of that exposure and that cross-contamination to a minimum. And so I'm going to ask that you take care of that. Okay, so one more thing I did not put on the slide, but I'm going to talk about. You are responsible for your area. And so at the very end of class, when you're in person, I'm going to distribute a cleaning disinfectant towel to every single person in the class, and you'll be responsible for wiping your own area, just your desktop and any school supplies that you use, your Chromebook, your calculator, things like that. So you'll be responsible for cleaning your own area to help stop, the spread of this virus. And we'll talk more about that in detail as, the days come, and we'll get in the habit of doing these things. Okay. So if you'll click the orange button to go to the supplies video, it's at the bottom underneath this video.